Hello, YouTube! Welcome back to Season 3 of Behind the Wall, presented by Perky Jerky. A brand new season is upon us, and as always, I am Kane Jr. 88, along with my two cellmates right over here, Thermite 917 and Pro Bowl 43, and we are reviewing the Monster Energy Monster Match from Daytona International Speedway. Yeah, I know, called the Advanced Auto Parts Clash, but fuck that. We're giving it our own name that sounds way better than that. And here with the recap is Thermite. Take it away.
Thank you, Kane. To get it started, Paul Menard got the pole after a random draw. And then when the race started, it did not take long for the field to form one big old choo-choo train around the top of the track. The first red flag for rain came out around lap 10, and it lasted for about 20 minutes. When they got that going, all but 5 drivers pitted right before the competition caution on lap 25, which made for a somewhat tense moment. The second red flag for rain came out with about 30 laps to go, but once again, it wasn't a major delay. When they restarted again, they quickly formed a single file line on the top and played the waiting game. With 20 to go and under threatening skies once again, Jimmy Johnson pulled out of line on Paul Menard to attempt the first pass for the lead all day, it seemed, and it ended in disaster. The side draft was just too close, and they made contact, resulting in the big one. Only about 3 cars were not involved. Then the skies opened up one last time and the race was official. Jimmy Johnson was declared the winner, and it's actually the first time he's finished the Clash in his past 8 attempts. And then Paul Menard, unfortunately, who led the most laps, 51 out of the 59 laps that were run, he ended his day on the wrecker. So to go through the results real quick, second was Kurt Busch, Joey Logano was third, then Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman was fifth, and he started fifth. Austin Dillon was 6th, then Chase Elliott, Eric Almirola, Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez finished 10th and also started 10th. Nick Murray finished 11th, started 11th. Hamlin finished 17th, started 17th. And Eric Jones finished 20th, started 20th in the 20 car. Just a crazy stat considering that the qualifying was determined randomly. That was just so interesting. Thank you, Tyler, for that. And that's probably the most exciting part of this race, guys. These ratings should be fun. Tyler, you haven't talked all episode yet, so what is your rating?
I was just thinking about this. I don't know what animal lays the biggest kind of egg, but if Daytona were to be an animal, it laid the biggest fucking egg you could possibly imagine. I'm giving it a fat-ass 0. Okay, it's an exhibition race. It's only supposed to be 75 laps, and we just go out there and have a fun time. Well, guess what? It just was a terrible race, way too much choo-choo, no excitement whatsoever, and then they decided to crash over 3/4 of the field. That's not exciting, and there's no excuse for that shit. So I don't feel bad giving it a 0, and that's never good to start the season off that way. But boy, I hope we don't see this next week. Game.
I'm going to paraphrase what Kevin Harvick said after the race. We ran single file all day, and then we all wrecked when somebody decided to actually race. I could not agree more, Kevin, and I agree with Tyler as well. You're getting a goose egg clash or mash or whatever the fuck you're called now. Oh my god, I mean, the rain, the choo-choo, and Paul Menard. I mean, come on, if the race had gone the distance, or if the rain had fallen with Paul Menard in the lead, I would have given it a better rating. But no, man, there's no words to describe the shit show, as Brett Griffin calls it, of a race that we saw, and I couldn't be any more disappointed. Nick, what is your rating?
I mean, this might be a little generous, but I'll give it a 0.5. I mean, that says something if it could be a little worse. I mean, it can always be worse, I guess. But only 4 lead changes and very little passing overall, plus the rain, made this arguably the worst clash in series history. I just don't even understand whether it was the aging track surface and handling coming into play again, or the aero package, or just driver preference. It was simply terrible any way you look at it. I know it was just an exhibition race, but that is absolutely no excuse. For it to go from single file for 95% of the race to a big wreck, and then not even be able to get it restarted, I don't think I've seen anything like that before. I guess it's cool Jimmy finally won something again, even though it didn't count. I mean, I'm not sure that's how he wanted to win it, but a win is still a win. I just hate it for Paul Menard and the Wood Brothers, and especially the fans. It sucked.
I know that has to go in the book, but can we just rip this page the hell out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Let's move on.
please.
Well, now it's time to kick off the awards segment of the show. So yeah, we've got some usual ones returning for the third year in a row. That classic one, the boner of the week. There's actually two of them. Nick, you know all about it, so tell us more.
Yes, I will. The first boner of the week goes to Jimmy Johnson. We all know what happened here. He jammed his Jimmy into poor Paul Menard and caused the big one, collecting about 16 or so cars. He made a move, and I appreciate him for that because no one else was trying anything. But the problem was he got too close side drafting, and they made contact. Paul did not come down. I don't know why people are saying that. If anything, the air kind of sucked him down when Jimmy pulled out a line. But he just misjudged it. The veteran can do that. He's won 7 championships, but everyone makes mistakes. And that's all there is to it. I know he doesn't really care. He was just going for it like he should. He's a race car driver, and that's the end of the story. We have a dishonorable boner, if you can call it that. That kind of sounds weird to say. But it goes to Kyle Busch because before the race, he was hopping with Brexton on the trampolines, and he rolled his ankle. It's a professional race car driver. You probably shouldn't risk injuries like that. I know you're just having fun, but it's still kind of an embarrassing thing. Kind of reminds me of all the injuries Denny Hamlin has had outside the track. But just to kind of quote his tweet, Kyle said, "So apparently it's hard for a 33-year-old to keep up with a 3.5-year-old at the trampoline park." Well, yeah, I guess it was. And I can't laugh too much because it sounds like exactly something I would do.
Same here.
But still, it's a boner of the week. So let's move on.
Yes, our next award is that first one of the year, the day from hell! If you watched this race, and you watched it live, yeah, you already know you were in hell. So I'm sorry for you. I'm so fortunate to be one of those that didn't watch it. You know, I kind of had a DVR and I was a little busy, so yeah. I got to skim through that shit and didn't waste my Sunday afternoon watching one of the most boring damn races of all time. So, thanks. But, man, I feel terrible, especially for you guys. Oh, boy. I hope you had some ice cream or something to get you through that shit. Oh, next award!
All right, the next award is another one making its grand return in 2019. It is the
Straight Jacket Award!
No surprise here. It goes to goddamn Mother Nature. Oh, I'm sure the racing sucked. We all can agree on that. But you didn't help either, you goddamn bitch. Why do you always gotta rain on our parade, Mother Nature? Why? Why do you hate NASCAR so much? If there were a beautiful sunny day, I could have probably given a higher rating. But no, you had to go and piss all over an already pissed-on race. Thank you so much, Mother Nature. Oh, but that's not all. We got another
Straight Jacket Award!
And it goes to the Kannapolis Intimidators Baseball Club. The minor league team owned by Dale Earnhardt Sr., founded by Dale Sr., that's the Class A affiliate of Nick's favorite team, the Chicago White Sox, are voting to change their name. They've already announced that the 2019 season will be their last as the Intimidators, and they're allowing us, the fans, to come up with a new name. What? Are you kidding me? You should have seen the disappointment on Dale Jr.'s face, or at least in his tweets, as well as Kelly and I think Carrie too, when the news came out. And Sam Bass, our pal Sam Bass, who helped design the first logo for the team way back in 1999, they were all sad. And you know what? I realize there's one person to blame for all this. You can figure out who it is. It's that bitch Teresa Earnhardt. Fucking who? She owns the rights to the Intimidator nickname. And apparently the lease is up for the team. Fuck that shit. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, so what if it's a racing podcast? We'll talk a little bit of baseball. We have to, because it's concerned some great shit. Damn it! Well, okay. It's time for paint schemes. Yeah, we love them. So we're going to start off with the best paint scheme of the week. We only got one of them, and it's from the ARCA race, surprisingly. Harrison Burton, your race winner. They had a nice, simple little car, number 20. Get your Dex Imaging. Toyota. Just a simple little car, you know, got kind of that sharp look. White, red, a little bit of black splashed in there. Looks decent. So, We had the worst paint schemes of the damn week. And boy, they are already off to a rockin' start in 2019. 3 of them to talk about here. Kane, kick it off.
Oh, our first one was one that we talked about last year, but it's got a little bit of a change to it. It's Chase Elliott's Mountain Dew Team Rubicon Chevrolet. That's right, the Mountain Dew, whoa, sexual green is back, but they decided to go and ruin it this year by making the normally black racing stripes camouflage. I mean, I get Team Rubicon does a lot of great stuff in helping out with disaster relief, but did you have to paint the racing stripes camouflage? Why couldn't you just paint the actual primary color of the car camouflage and leave the racing stripes black? It would have looked so much better that way. But no, we had to leave the sexual green in there, and it looks like ass. I just don't get it, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, whoever is in charge of designing that paint scheme. You could have done a way better job. Next atrocity, please.
That is Denny Hamlin's FedEx Camry. And, you know, people have been wanting the paint scheme to have a little more white in it, kind of like Jason Leffler's in 2005. And be careful what you wish for, because this does not look good. I don't dislike the colors. It's nice enough to look at that way, but when you look at the design, there is none. It's just weird how the rear of the car, the design kind of stops at the side skirt for no reason. They could have done more there, and then it just kind of curves around the hood, kind of weird, and then goes up the A-pillar. I don't get it. It's like, finish it. Do more. And then on the back, that's even worse because it makes no sense either, just kind of going straight down in a diagonal fashion. I don't understand how they can have a really decent looking one last year in the past several years and just end up with this plain ass looking thing for no reason. I guess FedEx trucks are white and they were maybe trying to go more that route, no pun intended, but it's just terrible. Don't do it. And now, if you think that's bad, we'll move on to probably the most disgusting one. Tyler, what is it?
I'm glad that we're knocking this one out of the park very early on. I hate this goddamn car so much. Now, Jimmy Johnson got the worst paint scheme of the year in our awards ceremony for the Hendrick Motorsports Bikers. You know, that Lowe's car was absolutely awful. So you think, okay, now they've got a chance to redeem themselves. Did they do that? Hell no, they didn't. Look at this piece of shit. Ally comes on board, and it basically looks like they just stripped the Lowe's car plane, took all the decals off of it, left the yellow numbers, and just started slapping Ally decals on it. Okay, let's go ahead and start with arguably the worst part of the car, the hood. The Ally logo is simply nothing more than just straight up bleeding up and down, and it's huge. It looks like a damn seizure. It literally hurts your eyes to look at. What in the hell kind of creativity are you going with there? It's poor. Now, let's look at the fenders. A blown up goddamn decal of the one that you see on the quarter panel. That's straight off of the rowdy Snickers car that we've seen the last 2 years. Don't blow up decals. It's not a design. It's moronic. And just the placement of everything on the quarter panel, I don't like the fucking Ally slap there. Do it right. Oh, that might just be the best part. The slogan of the company slapped on a car that is so bad, and just pure irony because they did it wrong. One of the worst goddamn paint schemes I've ever seen, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be 2 years in a row they'll get the worst paint scheme of the year. No creativity, nothing. Terrible. I don't even like the colors. I like nothing about this paint scheme. Awful. I can't take it no more. Guys, son of a bitch, you might have to get the straitjacket out. This car's making me crazy.
Oh my god.
And one surprising thing about this is Jimmy had a lot of input on this paint scheme. We can't even blame Brendan Drapo this time. I don't even think he worked on it at all. So, yeah, stick to your day job, Jimmy, of wrecking cars on the last lap of the Monster Mash.
And then getting a win that you didn't deserve. Bitch! Bitch! Oh, Jimmy.
Ally!
Jimmy jammed his Ally. He did it wrong.
The Ally car had lots of enemies out there.
That was cringeworthy but good.
Yes, it had to be said.
I think it did. Well, let's recap those fantasy results and picks from the Clash. And it looks like our 2018 champion, he's back on top. Jesus, Kane. Still rolling the damn momentum. Stop it. Quit your momentum. You pick Ryan Blaney, who finished 4th, so you get those 10 free bonus points. Congratulations. Starting out in front of everybody. I come home 2nd, picked Chase Elliott, who got 7th. Damani picked Denny Hamlin, who crashed out and finished 17th. And Nick picked Brad Keselowski, who finished right behind old Dennis, and 18th, who also crashed out. So, Nick, you get the very first selection for the Great American Race. Who are you taking?
Well, I'm going with one of the young guns in Ryan Blaney.
I keep the ladies screaming.
Yeah, his 3rd career win is going to be the biggest of his career. Those Fords are going to be strong. We know that, even with the Mustang coming out. But he's just had a knack for these plate races, it seems, just making aggressive moves when no one else seems to want to do it, and just being in the right place at the right time up until the very end. And it just feels right. You know, it's his year. Ryan Blaney. Damani, who is your pick?
You one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, good luck with that. Tyler, who is your pick?
Well, you know, I think I'll take a swing at the fences. It's a Ford. He dominated the MASH. He's quiet. He loves 16ths. He has a beard. He's Paul Menard.
I am so fucked.
Why the hell am I taking him? I don't know. But Paul, I mean, Paul doesn't do many things. He's just going to be like there in the back. I just feel like he's going to get up there, and it's a Penske affiliated car, and they're just strong. And I don't know. You never know. Paul just might sneak out of there and win, and then people will say, hey, Paul Menard won the Daytona 500, and be like, what? Okay, I'll go back to drinking my water now. How bland will that be? So, we'll see what happens. Kane, who's your pick?
Well, gentlemen, I think I'm just going to make it a Penske sweep and take Joey Logano.
I'm so happy. Hold me.
He's obviously a former Daytona 500 champion, having won it in 2015. He won last year at Talladega, and he's really good at restrictor plate tracks, so who says he can't win? Joey Logano.
Nice fantasy picks, gents. Go get your Harley J. Earl. Well, that does it for the 89th episode of Behind the Wall, the debut of Season 3. Holy Lord, gentlemen, we've done this now for 3 years in a row. We're approaching our 100th episode. We got some good things, and we're excited. Talk about a brand new season of NASCAR racing. Hopefully it doesn't suck. So, for Damani HG, still not sure why I'm mentioning him, but he's here in spirit. We love him, and if you haven't ever subscribed to his YouTube channel, don't. For Kane Jr. 88, he has a beard still. He's going to continue that trend going into 2019. For Thermite 917, he does Thermite things. He buys socks on Black Friday, and whenever there's marinara around, you best be sure you keep your iced tea away, because he'll probably throw it into your cup. And for myself, Pro Bowl 43, let's do this, sucker. This play package better not suck ass. Other than that, let's have a good Daytona 500. This has been Behind the Wall. You've been Behind the Wall. Grab a bag of Berkey Jerky, and we'll see you next time. Wow. Woo. That tastes good. It's been a while. I needed some alcohol. Yeah. Or whatever you want to call it. Is it really a dishonorable boner? Are boners dishonorable? I mean, they're technically dishonorable from the start. I mean, because that's what the definition, besides the male erectus boner. But I mean, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting way too descriptive there, Fritz.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's our show.
Exactly. He rolled his fucking ankle chasing around his kid who was like probably had like the mini M&Ms in his hand, like, ooh, I got the M&Ms, Daddy, you can't get them. Shut up, Braxton, you're ugly. I mean, if we're being honest.
Boy, you get down from here. You ugly.
Nah.
I was just thinking about the trampoline thing again, and it's like Kyle, like he challenges Braxton to like a trampoline battle, and then when he rolls his ankle, he goes to Braxton. I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
Quit flipping me off and just jump your shit, you little bitch.
Everything's great! Oh, no, wait, it's not! Ow! I hurt my ankle.
I got dumped. So you've been behind the wall. God damn it! I had such a head of steam.
And you were doing so well.
I know I was doing so well. God damn it!
So for Behind the Wall, that's our podcast for Kane Jr.
You know what? It's only fitting. Like Nick didn't have one of his moments, and I guess I did it for him. So
Yeah.
there.